கோட் மாதிரி வரும்ல சார், அது கேட்குது. கடைசி நம்பர் பாருங்கள், 32ல் வந்து முடியுது சார். srmc.edu.in இல்லை சார், srmc.edu.in gmail.com சார். ஆமாம் சார்.
The audios and videos turned off throughout the event for a hassle-free experience. You can put your questions in the chat box that will be addressed towards the end in the Q&A session. It is rightly said, one who has imagination has wings. Today with us, such an inspirational personality, Mr. CYRIL, who with his creative imagination and meticulous designing skills has uplifted our entertainment world with his awe-striking and larger-than-life film sets. It is a great honor to have you with us, sir. Now, I would like to invite our convener, Architect Lokesh M. Sir, the Vice Principal of SEED, to give the welcome note.
Yes, good morning, one and all present here. I am really happy to invite the great CYRIL sir for accepting our SRM SEED invite and giving and sharing the knowledge of his past experience. He is a 4-time national award winner, and it is not such an easy task. Each and every bit of his design was, set designs and creative art has been seen in the movies. BAHUBALI is one of the best example I can say. The whole set, the entire BAHUBALI set was done by CYRIL sir, and each and every detail, even the elephant which is welcoming the entrance and all those things, how much study you would have done the historic architecture, sir. It is, I wonder till now also, and it is a great pleasure indeed to welcome you, sir. And our students will created the tribute video for you. That's what it was displayed. They themselves, came forward and created a tribute video. And also, we are really happy that you are here. I once again thanking my management, chairman sir, co-chairman sir, director sir, and chief director sir, and Dean ENT sir. He is so supportive. And whenever we go and ask, he is giving approvals and everything. That's why we can able to move further. And thank you, Dean ENT sir. And also thank you everyone, and thank you once again CYRIL sir for accepting our invite. And thank you Anaga and Samyukta for the wonderful video. Thank you so much. And Pooja Kataria carry over the mic, and Dean ENT sir is available. He have the address.
Thank you so much for giving us this great opportunity to bring such an eminent speaker. Now I would like to welcome our Dean ENT, Dr. Murali Krishnan sir, for a special welcome note.
See there?
Okay, you can carry on, Pooja. I'll invite some internet problem.
Okay, sir. So now I request our event coordinator, Professor Architect Manju ma'am, to introduce our speaker.
Thank you, Pooja. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah. I take immense pleasure to introduce artist CYRIL. CYRIL is a production designer in Indian film industry was born in Valparai, Coimbatore district from Tamil Nadu. He completed his schooling in Azan Memorial, Chennai. He graduated from the Government College of Fine Arts, Chennai. His career started from 1982. In 1988, he was a freelance graphic designer for companies such as Welcome Group Hotels, the Taj Group of Hotels, and Madura Coats. In 1988, he began his art director career and directed more than 2,500 advertisements, 3 teleserials, and 115 feature films in Malayalam, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, and Kannada, and designed several stage shows. In 1996, he directed the stage design for the Miss World Beauty pageant. He also worked as one of the second unit art directors in the 1990 film The Great. He has won National Film Award for Best Production Designer 4 times, Filmfare Award for Best Art Direction 5 times, and he was nominated for 42nd Saturn Awards for his work on Bahubali, The Beginning. His work in Indiran won international recognitions over the years. He has emerged to be the most expensive and celebrated art director in our country. It is our immense pleasure to welcome you for the session, sir, a journey of a production designer. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request artist CYRIL sir to take over for the presentation.
Okay. Now, since you have mentioned about Bahubali, I'll start with Bahubali itself. So you can see, I'll start off with the video, which is a working video, so that you can see how much of work is gone into it. And then we can ask questions on that and maybe. See, actually now you have seen how much of speaks to it. So, you would have seen how much of work has gone into it. I'll show you some details of that. So this hand actually we made a mechanical hand which I'll come in later. This is designing up. I'm just running through the concept art. This is a concept art for the final sequence. I'm just running through the concept arts actually. So it's done by a boy from Bangalore. His name is Sundaram, Vishwanath Sundaram. He did a great job so that we could bring this into the film. These are models which we did to study the lighting conditions also. So this actually making of the character wanted to show
Come forward, please, come forward. Go forward.
So this actually I was trying out with glycerin and colored liquid with a backlit. So it is like how you achieve these kind of things. Because really molten liquid, it's really difficult for us to handle directly. If we have had some dry ice pieces, we would have had some smoke also. This I think I have shown. So this is another mechanical horse which I did. This is completely a mechanical horse which is using, because for us it was really difficult for us to achieve certain action sequences. You can see how it works. So how it's running, because this is on wheels and it's being towed by another vehicle. Even this kind of sequence, it is really difficult for us to achieve. He's on a treadmill and he jumps onto the horse, passing the horse which is running, because the background will become more of CG, so it's easier for that. This is the elephant which I made for BAHUBALI again. This is while testing the same elephant. Okay. It's my own we just made a cutout to figure out what will be the scale, because it was supposed to be a 100 feet statue, so that you can see the human scale in that. Then we did it in 3D, this is CNC on a thermocol. We did a 3D scan and then did that. And finally it was done in fiber. You can see the scale of the body. This is a Rana statue. This is a arrow machine which we worked out. Hope my volume is okay. Please let me know. Yes,
we are able to hear.
It's fine.
It's okay. Okay. Good. This was seen it in the.
We saw different medieval period catapults and different type of catapults, and finally I thought this will work better because we are using a stone wall. It's a stone from here, and this is a person has to climb here, put the book onto it, and if he winds this one, it comes down. And as it is here, then we're supposed to release the ball. Ball comes here and rolls into the. That's a hook. So that pull this thing, the whole thing, the ball goes up. So this was our plan, and we have recreated the same thing with the same model, based on the same model. And I think it's working out well. Hope it will look good on screen.
So these are the just to show the finish of everything was done mostly in fiberglass, and a few of them were made with soft material because of the action sequence it was much easier. Today we get imported materials which are much softer, and but we shouldn't have a fold also, so we use different kind of materials just to give an idea of the things which we made. This is NASA's hand here. I will come with the mechanism later. We go fast now because I don't know how much time we have.
So there's absolutely no time restriction. You can take your time.
Okay, thank you. So these are the chariots which we made. This is the concept art of the same chariot. This is that war killing machine which Rana uses in the film. This was inspired by, actually director wanted something with big swords which are rotating and which can, like a mean machine basically. So I actually got inspired by harvest machine which was designed by Leonardo da Vinci. So I used that and adapted this into war killing machine. This was done for the second part with 3 lion head, and actually I had a motorbike engine inside to run the machine because it was supposed to be bulls were supposed to run the machine the chariot, so which was done in CG. So we had to have a machine like this with which will automatically run with the motor. So this is actually the shielding which we made, which we wanted to look like almost like a translucent crystal kind of thing. So I used a fiberglass and just filled in all this distillery bottle, water bottle, plastic bottle, crushed bottles inside which will catch light in different directions. It really worked. So what you use, it doesn't matter in the film, what you finally show, what comes on screen is more important. So that's the difference, I think major difference in architecture and architecture and for film set design, because we have to use materials which will look correct, like how aluminum sheet, if it is rolled and like a tube-like structure, will look like stainless steel in the film. So which is easier to handle. Aluminum sheet is easier to handle. So that I think by experience and by observation and putting in extra effort to learn about materials really help us actually. You can see the crystal forms inside. There's nothing but plastic bottles inside. This is the hand which we wanted the look almost like this, and the size was this. Actually, I took it from director's wife's, and I took a cast of it and then recreated it in silicone material, which we gave movements also, which I'll again show you later. See the texture and all things. We took a silicone dye, so it came out perfectly. Alginate, we use alginate actually. It's the dentist use. So there are a lot of materials which dentists use can be used by us. This was done for Robo when we had a discussion, and then director wanted something else. This is totally operated by cables. So this is again, this is the mechanism how we made it work. But each finger moves when the particular artist moves that particular finger. So it will be connected to his hand. See here, my assistant is holding the Sarvana's hand, and when each finger he moves, so actual artist's hand is hid behind his body, and then the cable is connected to this. Only in CG we just connected the body in one sequence. Well, basically he'll have a shawl on his body. So this is just to show the students how you can use different materials to achieve something. This is actually tried for create a waterfall. This is nothing but agased salt. The 1000 feet waterfall, we use this kind of elements which they combine in CG, so that it looks like waterfall. In between, if anyone wants to ask question, you can ask her, please. Okay, I'll just go to Linga because that is a period film. So this, even the properties and all the things we have to, it was very difficult to get the English period properties and things like that. So Alabani was a different period. Linga, actually, we shot in Mysore Palace and a lot of set also. This was a first class train which I made a set. This is in Ramaji Film City. We put a set of the old railway station. This I want to talk to you about because to build a set like this for the dam construction, it takes at least about a month because if you are going to shoot stage by stage. So I told the director that he had only 1 week for the whole thing. So I told him let us do the full set and then every night I'll dismantle it. So we went in a reverse order to save time. So this was while shooting construction. We used to actually, we had gone to America asking to make a robo, and the director ordered 2 more robos, which was shot. So they were asking for $1 million, that's almost 5 to 10 crores I think. And I told him, no, we'll do it. So he asked me, how will you do it? Even those days, I wanted to know how I do it. So I told him I'll use gloves inside, and so I made this, I think it cost around 6 lakhs. So how to save money also is a part of, you can see it walking. There is the assistant who's with them. You have seen it in the film. This is nothing but, I think, after cooking, the hot case is on his head and you can see through it. Here, the tall one, the boy's eyes are on his chest level. You can see the hand which is coming out. There are gloves whom we used, so it was easier for us to handle. This was more futuristic for Billu Baba, which I did. It's supposed to be a space station and where Shah Rukh Khan comes down of it actually. Just to show the range of work which I have done. And that is what is exciting in this profession, where I really enjoy trying out different things. I was only doing period films would have been quite boring. So some of the working stills which you have seen it in press and other places. There were sets in which we put in Ramaji Film City, the biggest floor. This is the construction which happened, the climax happens here. We used scaffolding system which was easier for us to do, and it was quite strong also as a structure, and I used ACP sheets, aluminum composite panels, which gave a high-tech look with glass. And I think it was quite difficult for us to handle because the place it was near seaside. We did it near Mayajal, since it's a Madras program, and just telling you the place also. Behind Mayajal there was a football ground, that's where we put the set. So it looked towards the end. Here we used a technique of chroma green, where actually artificial legs which we had made was attached to him, and he was actually standing inside. You can see his legs below. So he has like, this is a land logo. It was very interesting to do this. So again, I had two gloves. You can see the photographs on the left hand side, where you can see the gloves actually. One is inside and one. This I got an idea because when I was in school, we used to play like this actually. One person standing straight and one holding his hip, bending down and walk around with a cloth wrap. So I thought, why can't we try this technique here? And it worked for us. This is like a mechanics which I made the rotation where I used my hand and with the motor, whereas only the chopsticks will be seen in the screen. These are robotic ones which we operate with cables. So again, here I used a 3D printing technology for those days. That is around, I think it must be around 10 years easily. Only in Bombay we had a one which can print 1 meter by 1 meter. So got the head on printed, rest was done in clay modeling, and it was around 35 feet statue. This was again done for Krish Green, again in Ramoji Film City. These mechanisms we made separately where we will be standing on top of it and pulling down because the pneumatics get stuck. So Krish goes and helps it to land actually. So again, part of this part of the lab. This is for Om Shanti, where the whole set has to burn and things like that. And here I use Art Deco style, Art Deco and Art Nova style more, so that it was the period when, like if you see our Casino Theatre and other theatres of that period had similar architectural design. To film, I made it a point to use Art Deco style and Art Nova style. Because after it gets burned, you can see the studio. In architecture, maybe people will be really liking to see such things. So the advantage here for me is that I can try out different styles within the time when you're working in the film industry to choose the right film. Whereas for an architect, I think rarely you get a chance to recreate Art Deco style again. This is a miniature for blasting. These are general sets designed by me for song sequences. It is Garam Masala, I think. The one was very Indian. The other one, I had to plan. That's what a production designer's job is, where including costume. They just came to see and we shot in Mauritius, so we had to use the same backdrop and create, do for 4 sets each for 2 different songs, which had 2 different looks. So it was quite challenging for me. The whole thing was design, costume, everything was my idea. Which is very simple and easy to execute, but it had a style. This was a space sun for other film. This is again Billu Babu set. This is for me, but this is a chow which we put up again using scaffolding pipes and clamps with the facade created by plywoods and plaster Paris sheets. Gypsum sheets basically. Again, people had to walk in the corridors and things like that. This was for Agnipath. You can see we created Big Ben, a portion of it. Rajay Devan had to stand on the needle. This is under construction. This miniature was done by Film Institute students actually, second year students. I made them all work together and did different portions. I think they did quite a good job at that point of time. And the dam has to break and the water has to come, things like that. This is a miniature model of a shooting high speed for Krish, where the whole thing has to crumble and fall. It's happening because it's in very high speed. We use thin 2 mm glass sheets for that, so that when it breaks, the splinters and the pieces look correct. This must be around 1000 frames per second. It had to hit the other building, and then the center portion will come down, and the push saves the center portion actually. Just go back to this one in the normal speed. This was around 35 feet height. So when it is in slow motion, it looks more real because there's a formula for it when you create a miniature. This is again another miniature. A Billu Baba again, like a space city. This is another miniature for Nipo batteries. I will put the Nipo working in the video later. This was for another title sequence, again a miniature. This is working on that miniature. Let's shoot it. These are other miniatures. This was a real train which we were matching the Virgin trains in London. There was an action sequence where people are jumping from one train to another and it's running parallelly. This actually I made, used a truck in the front and at the back and covered the whole thing and made it look like a huge train which is running on the road actually. This was for Tismarka. It's not going on track, it is actually got wheels down, which will look, you can see that. So it's kept parallelly next to it, but it's not actually going on that. So it's like checking it. The wheels will wobble now because we're just checking the road. So we create a make-believe world and I enjoy doing that. So it's for Linga. Again here the wheels are not touching the ground. That's why it's everything moving. RA1 I had made some futuristic bikes. I think it was coming on song sequence. This is again another mechanical movement tiger which I made. Just cable operated. I'm not very good in electronics, so animatronics is very difficult for me. Plus, I think
என்ன பாசமா சொல்றோம்.
the whiskers have to be cut after this. So this is again the horse which I made for another film. Okay.
Correct.
Son of Sardar.
I think we have to do it separately. Do. தூக்குனாப்ல போகணும்.
This is for Bahubali bison which I made. It's carried on shoulders, and as soon as handling it, I'll make it.
Yeah.
We used a goat skin and used hair bleach and colored and got the right color for it. This was for the film. We are trying it out. So,
Pull your hand has to be like that. See that corner should be seen.
so using rods and like puppetry, how we
Opposite.
the hands are inside and we are doing the movement on the side. Controlled, yes.
We'll put together both the hands like begging. Just come closer to the body. Just turn around. Just do this one. Let's keep this one down. Just do only this one. That you can move little bit. Little bit. That time you can bend it little bit. Do. That.
Because again, in Bahubali, for one sequence, he wanted hands going in, so it's a dummy which we made to create this effect. All these things have become boring for me. We all do models, we also do similar content using things. The final look should be as real as possible. And it has to serve the purpose. Fast forward it a little bit. SABU. This is we use Lumion. In Lumion we created the 3D model. The texture Lumion lighting and all things are very easy. So now we started using, this is a live set, action set, which was finally done. I just wanted to show you all the. So this is a concept which we did, and this is the action set. Finally, they couldn't make this is action set again. So it was the advantage today is that using Lumion and all this in 3D model, we can easily show what exactly we are going to achieve and with lighting. So we are just taking advantage of the available softwares now, I think, which extensively architects are using. After a long time, I got a chance to do some very ultra modern and contemporary sets. This is a set which we did in attaching to the existing. This is again a set CG compression. Just skipping through fast now. We used a crane because we wanted to pick wheels and then remove the arm and then created the anchors on them. So this actually we converted four. Every set, the set first which I built, I converted into 4 different sets, like different groups completely, within 2-3 days time. There's again a miniature, which is about 30 feet height, 25 feet height. It's supposed to be 120 feet or 300 feet height. This is compositing, after compositing. In the monitor I just copied. We had to create, because they are both twins of villain, so we had to take cast of his face and recreate in silicone for another person to wear like a mask. This is the mask which we made, which is before coloring. Coloring is not complete. This time. This, I think, this is a film which I did recently. For some, we made 3 ships, not released yet. I have to make 3 sets per This film actually got 3 national awards because it was done last year in the costume design, special effects, and best film. These are a few of the pictures. I made a tank which is about 20 by 20, 200 by 200 feet, and with 5 feet depth, and put 3 ships we made. and the war sequence happens here on the ship. So this sequence, this is just copied from a monitor when they were transferring, which we created in the same tank. I'll show you how we created the waves. This normally I don't tell other people, only for students, because the magic of cinema will be lost. Now I'll show you the mechanism which I use. So on a JCB I just put some barrels and welded together and two from two sides. For Malayalam film this was the best thing, because Hollywood they would have made a mechanism which is very maybe it would be very expensive for us to do such things, so tried creating waves. This is how we create waves. And this is again a miniature. And then to suppress water is very difficult. So we use fan on top of the water surface so that the ripples are small. The human characters will be 3D CG characters. But when it's a miniature, it has to be to the scale, and the speed of the camera is also equally important. And that's what I want to go now. I think seeing these things, people can ask me questions and maybe I'll be able to explain better.
Yes, so thank you so much for that insightful presentation. Like, we just got to know it's about material knowledge, it's about technology, it's about knowing the period architecture, color, lights, perspective, aesthetics, mechanism. I think it's like you need to know everything. And apart from that, the best part is like you really have to be smart. Like, that was very impressive. You certain $1 million instead of just like getting those robots, using that smartness and always being that alertness and having some tricks. So such an insightful presentation, sir. Thank you so much. So before we move to Q&A, I would like our respected Dean, sir, Dr. Murli Krishna, sir, to join us and like share a few words with us. Dean, sir. Dean, sir. Okay, maybe sir is busy with some phone call and he'll join us again. So, sir, if you permit us, can we move to the Q&A session?
Sure. I'm ready.
Okay. Can we have Miss Chaitanya, our VR student, for the Q&A session? Yes. You can take over from here, Chaitanya.
Thank you. So, the first question from my side, what major challenges and problems you face while constructing the ships?
So we are unable to hear you. You are on mute. So you are on mute.
Sarvi sir, you are on mute. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. So, every day is a challenge. Not a single day goes without a challenge, and that is what is exciting for us actually. So even though we plan so much, anything like that's why I call it crisis management all the time, because the need will be different. Sometimes the director might ask for a different thing. So while set designing and things like that, only thing we have to be very careful about how long the set is needed. So based on that, we'll use the material, and whether there's going to be rain, whether there's going to be storm. So all those things we have to take into consideration. If it's an outdoor set. Indoor, it's easily manageable. Only thing we should know the load and how many people will go on top of that, and while working and while shooting. Because if we tell them 10 people can go onto that platform, minimum 25 will go. So we have to be careful and plan ahead of that beforehand, so that it will be safer. Basically, safety is the most important thing which we have to consider while working in this field, because everyone is a celebrity, and if anything goes wrong, the whole shooting gets stuck, and the money which is involved is very high every day. So it's a major responsibility to see to that no accidents happen and the shooting goes on, and not because of your mistake. If it's because of your mistake, you'll be out of the industry. They'll throw you out. So we have to be very, very careful in handling things and not to waste time and money actually.
So the next question, in which movie you had a better experience?
I didn't get you.
In which movie you had a better experience?
In which?
In which movie?
In
Which movie?
Which movie? Every film is a good experience actually, including I have not shown you those pictures and things like that from Kanchipuram, which is a very small film, very, very small film. Only one house set which we put and one bus I made for that film. Even that experience was interesting. Anything which is challenging and which is, especially when it is period, it is really challenging. But I like futuristic films because you need to know science and technology and what will be the advancement in future and things like that, and incorporate it into your design. But every day is a good experience and new experience actually.
Sir, next question. What do you feel is the most important skill of a production designer?
See, you should be an all-rounder basically. That's what Madam also was telling, because you need to know. I was a good science student, though I was good in art also. So physics and chemistry has come of use really well in our direction, knowing mechanical movement things and making those kind of things. So the better you know, the more you know, the better it is actually. So there's nothing. I think I read psychology books also, because when you're suggesting in discussions, you'll say it is because of this, people behave this way and things like that. That also come of use. So there's nothing, history especially. Those days when I used to study history, it was quite a boring subject for me. But now I have to read and do research and know about our history so much, because we do. I'm doing a lot of period films actually. So everything, the more you know, the better it is.
The next question, what materials were used to build the sets of MGM?
See, I mentioned it in my this one. I think I use aluminum composite panel and metal scaffolding pipes and clamps for the basic structure, and the cladding was done using aluminum composite panel, ACP sheets and glass, so that we can get that high-tech look. But then again, some places where it has to break, open, thing. For the action sequences, we have to take a judgment, not judgment, but we have to choose right actually. A lot of materials will be, if you see the helicopter which we made, 2 helicopters, that was made out of fiberglass actually. So it had to crash and then catch fire and fall. So different materials are used.
Sir, what is the duration to build a particular set? Like, for the linga, it's a huge structure, so it have taken few days and more days. So,
See, basically the necessity of a set itself is because there won't be anything existing. In Linga, they had to show the construction of the dam, where it's nearly impossible for us to go and shoot an actual location where we'll get only a portion of it. Because the whole thing has to be shot within 3-4 days, means we have to show the construction happening. We went it in reverse order to save time basically. So it was a smart move which we did, and that's why we could complete it within 7 days. Every set, because period films, you don't get actual locations nowadays, because you can't shoot. Because today, moreover, we don't know the costumes and the photograph to come out. Everyone is carrying a phone with them, so it's very risky to shoot real locations because it leaks out in the media very quickly. So we have to keep the secret or keep it new to the people till the film is released.
In Linga, you worked with art director Amaran too, sir.
Yeah.
He also shared the experience and everything, and he talked about the materials.
I was a production designer, he was my art director actually, because now under the art director, the costume designers, all of them come under art director, the production designer. Sometimes I might have 2 or 3 art directors under me, and Amaran actually is an architect student again.
And what is the hierarchy you follow, sir? Like, you have art director, production designers, and how these kinds of sets of construction sets works.
See, actually, production designer is in charge of the total art department as such, where art directors come under production designer. Production designer has to finalize the location onwards, what mood, lighting, costume, colors, backdrop, everything, and then hand over to the art director what we think is right, and they design. We tell them what design we need for the set, and so they start designing. And construction, mainly they are in charge of the construction of the set basically. And nowadays in Malayalam film, everything has to be done by one day actually, even miniatures. But whereas now in big films we can afford to have miniature specialists or costume designers, especially prosthetics separate. But I do the mask and hand and all those things which I showed you earlier. Art directors, then art directors, assistant art directors will be there. Then set decorators are there, art assistants are there, and set assistants are there. So there are about 6 to 7 in our group itself actually.
Then in the movie Bahubali, in the beginning, you would have had a couple of people working for the sets.
I think even one of my assistants who became independent art director was working in Malayalam films. I called him also to work on this film called Manoj. So we had 3 art directors under me who were helping me to do this. Or else it's nearly impossible to have. We used to work on shifts in the night. During the war sequences, we had to prepare the swords and armors and all those things. So at night we used to have a separate group who would handle that and keep the things ready for the next day morning, other than the set, the properties alone. I think yes.
Chaitanya?
Yes, ma'am. Sir, what advice will you give for the upcoming set designers?
See, basically, to become a set designer, if you have an eye for detail and if you are good in photography, you have to take a lot of photographs. Then your angles and you'll really develop your visual medium better. And the more you know, the better it is, as I told you. And put in a lot of hard work. You have to keep on sketching and doing 3D models and texturing and things like that, so that you know what you're creating, and you need to understand through the lens of a camera. Only then you will be able to provide for the film. Actually, architecture, it's a living space, you can do that, but scale might vary for a film, because it has to be, because the ratios are different, and what you're going to show, the distance and the space, everything is based on the lensing actually. So we have to have a good knowledge about lensing. So that's why I'm saying you should start taking photographs. Just taking on an iPhone may not help, because you may not even know the range of the lens unless you cross check every time.
Could you tell us some tips to improve sketching, sir?
It's sheer practice, sheer practice. Because in Tamil itself they say no sitram kaipalakam sentamil napalakam. So we have to keep on practicing. In fact, to tell you the truth, I have lost touch because my assistants do the sketching and others do sketching. Concept art does the sketching, so I just scribble and go. My coordination between my brain and my hand has really become poor now. I used to do portraits when I was studying in college in 5 minutes, and trade fairs I used to go and do in chapel with the public. But now I'm not able to do because I've lost touch. So don't lose touch, and you have to keep on practicing. The more you practice, the better you will be in sketching. Because it's easy way to communicate. Because if you're going to do a 3D model, and it takes time. Whereas while discussing, when we're having meetings with the director and the story discussion happen, we can scribble. If you're an artist, you can just scribble quickly. Immediately you can communicate to them what you are thinking in your mind. Because our visual medium, whatever we create, we can't explain that easily unless you do a model or you sketch. So sketching is the fastest and easiest way to communicate.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, that was it with the question and answer session.
Thank you, sir. I just have one question. I cannot resist myself using this opportunity to interact and ask you. So like you were showing us, there's a lot of softwares that have come into place, and there's so much CG that's happening, like graphic work. So do you think, is it possible that in future we will depend more on all these graphics and softwares than building actual sets?
No, there is a good possibility that because the texturing and the lighting and on 3D models and in computer graphics become very good. So that in fact helps us. We have to do only a small portion, and the scale and other things can be created in CG. But now they're coming out with virtual reality and LED screens, using LED screens and projecting the assets on that. Only the foreground elements have to be done. Like now it's I've seen most of the in common countries, I think they have started doing that, which will cut down the cost a lot. So we can concentrate more on other things actually, creating the 3D model and how to light it, texturing and other things which we can do, which will cut down the actual physical sets in the location. The only problem they find today is it has to match with the background, because that is on LED screen. So the color wise and other things we have to really match, and the texture has to match. So the interactive ones, which way we have to do. It will come. It will come down.
Yeah, slowly we are heading there, but not yet there.
We might, within a year we might be there. So far.
That also reduces time, or do you think that's time consuming?
No, to create the assets we need to spend that kind of time earlier, before the shooting starts. So that we can, while shooting, we can have the backdrop also with time. So it will be easier for us to do that way. So, but it's time consuming. The more better you want the final effect, you need to spend extra time. Only that can give you result.
Interesting, sir. That's very interesting point. And before we close this Q&A session, I have a small question. Like a lot of students have been pinging me and asking me. Now, these are all architecture and interior designing students. If they want to switch to production design, so what is the tip that you would do? You would give? Like, do you recommend a course, or do you recommend that they just go on site and work, or what is the pathway, sir?
I feel coming onto the site and working is the best thing as an apprentice or intern. If they do an internship, then they'll be able to know practically the 3 years or 2 years which you're going to spend. If you spend it here, practical knowledge will be much better, because any which way the basics you have learned, and once you're academically good, you can study further. You can read any amount of materials are available on the net now to study. If you are not worried studying yourself, nobody need to teach you. You can study yourself first. But the exposure is very important. They can come and see what is happening and how things are utilized in the film. No? That's a different language by itself. So once they understand that, then it becomes easier for them to learn and do better job. In fact, I never worked as an assistant to anyone. Straight away I became an art director. And I didn't know what was art direction itself, but what I thought was right. So basically what we need is common sense and the knowledge about most of the materials and things like that, and practical knowledge of creating things, and sheer hard work and sincerity towards your work. Only that can take you up.
Thank you so much, sir. That really says it's pretty inspiring. I'm sure a lot of students here feel they also want to give it a go, maybe try production design. Thank you so much, sir, once again for taking time. Now, I would like to request our design chair, Professor NSA Ravi, sir, to give the vote of thanks. Ravi, sir?
Yes, thank you, Pooja. I guess it will be about 25 years back. I met you in Ganesh Babu's house in Kinnagar. And at that time, I never thought that there's so much behind production design. And now I'm really speechless. And the man behind all things, I'm really kind of overwhelmed. By the achievements you made. I really wonder if I can, achieve all these things in one lifetime. I may need several lifetimes to get anywhere near you. It is something fantastic, and we're all so proud to have you with us today. I'm so thankful and having taken so much time for us, and parting with your knowledge and secrets, and all your experiences. It's been a great experience for us, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I must thank Ganesh Babu in turn. I've known you through him. it is in fact this teacher on this stage behind all your schedule and so once again, thank you so much. Thank you, Pooja.
Thank you, sir. I'll also take this opportunity to thank our management for always supporting us. And also to thank the coordinators of the event for getting us such a big personality and giving us this learning opportunity. I would like to thank our VP Admin Architect Lokesh sir, our HOD in charge Architect Vijayashree ma'am, and I would also like to thank our digital team Anagha, Samyukta, Karthikeyan, who've been working on the poster and the video. Also thank you to the tech team, Narayanan sir, who's been putting up the link here, and he's also made this YouTube possible. Thank you Manju ma'am once again, thank you Ravi sir, and thank you to all the participants who've been really patient and asking us questions, and who just have made this event more precious by your presence. Thank you once again, sir, for your valuable time and
We wish you all the best in your career, sir, to reach Oscar so. And it's a really great day today for us, to share the experience and the working with many film movies, and we learned the behind the screen scenes of art direction.
We are really waiting for your Oscar winner. I guess you will win many hands down. And oh my God, you will definitely. That I can assure you. The kind of drive you have is fantastic. So good. Great.
Thank you, Professor Ravi sir, for getting such a great personality to our class, for our webinar. Thank you so much, sir, for your effort, and sir also accepting the invitation and sharing your knowledge for the students. Really admiring, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
And we'll also thank Dean sir for all the support and always being there for us. Thank you. Everyone have a lovely day ahead.